to cause violence and death and steal livestock, with about a third of the counties of Kenya affected, but about 13 counties most affected, including counties from this region. But the same risk and danger.
BBI and to sell Project Azimio. They were not interested in alcohol and drug abuse. They were selling some useless project that could not go anywhere. They were deployed wrongly to a non-core faction. They did so badly in that deployment, and they did so badly in the duties they had absconded. So tukaenda hasara pande zote. Lakini kwa hiyo hasara ya nyinyi kutukufaulu, sisi tukapata. Professor has said here, President William Ruto has pronounced himself, and he told the county commissioners and regional commissioners when they called on him, this administration will never deploy you to do politics. First and first, because it's wrong. Two, and in the most realistic manner, you are also bad at it. Because you tried and you failed. So we would be stupid to rely on you to do our politics. You can't. You have a kazi yenu na muijui. Nyinyi mnafikiria mkiwa na karauna tukuna mtu mnamwambia pale ataweka kura. You cheat yourselves. Wanawaambia ndio, wanafanya opposite. William Ruto na mimi hatuna haja mtu saidie kwa siasa yetu. Hata tukimwambia mtu saidie mtu tuharibia. Hatuna haja.
All right, now let's turn our focus onto the matters concerning the finance bill, where the government has been urged to take a bold step in facing the debt monster by either defaulting on the loans, restructuring, or rescheduling them, as the country might not be able to raise the targeted 2.89 trillion revenue in the next financial year. Business mogul and politician Jimmy Wanjigi wants that. He has warned that the overtaxing Kenyans will possibly lead to economic collapse, even though opposition leaders push for the boycott of the bill.
There are three options we have. Those three options are the following. One, we reschedule the debt. And that has a lot of problems, I can tell you, because it is a mixture of too much debt. The second is that we declare default, where we say we cannot pay, can you come to the table? We look at the debt we owe you. The third is to say we need a scrutiny of this debt. Look at your MP, watch your MP, record your MP, and understand what public choice theory is. If he is doing what you don't want him to do, or she is doing what you don't want her to do, understand she does no longer represent you, and you know the power you have.
Now to our next story, we are still on the finance bill, where senators from the Azimio camp have intensified their onslaught on the proposed finance bill 2023. The leaders, led by Kitui Senator Enoch Wambua, were attending a fundraising event at AIC Kiondoni in Kitui County. They urged Azimio members of parliament to oppose the finance bill once it is introduced into the parliament this coming Thursday.
Maziwa imeenda juu, mafuta pinga imeenda juu, petroli imeenda juu, kila kitu kimeenda juu katika Kenya.
Hata kama mna hizi ideas ambazo mnaona nyinyi ni nzuri, kwa sasa kwa sababu mzigo wa maisha umetukalia, mtupatie nafasi kwanza tupumue. Ndio ni kitu mbaya kuuliza kweli.
Inafika mahali you stop moving and you listen to people. Na kusikiliza is not cowardice.
Yani umechukia mama mboga, umechukua ile kijana ya bodaboda kabisa ambaye ndio unaenda kumwomba kura. Sasa unataka kumuua kabisa hata siweze kwenda. Imagine mali ambaye it was 50 shillings na petroli. Sasa unapandisha 16% VAT hiyo.
Ikiwa inaweza kwenda itengenezwe vizuri, alafu ipitishwe ikiwa inaweza kuwa hakuna watu ambao inafinyilia kama maasla.
Hakuna haja ku overtax the ordinary citizen. Tax the ones who are rich.
Don't tax the mama mboga.
At 3%, walipa hata kwa basic yake hakuna kitu. Alafu naambia yeye, kwa lazima toa 3% uende jenge nyumba ya nani?
Now, Azimio One Kenya leader Raila Odinga has maintained that Azimio coalition will not return to the bipartisan talks that have since collapsed. Odinga, who was in Kisumu attending the memorial service of late chair of Luo Council of Elders Willis Opiyo Otondi, said that Azimio legislators have been whipped to shoot down the Finance Bill 2023, which he says will make life a living hell for ordinary Kenyans.
The matter of the Finance Bill, the train has left the station. They either withdraw it or we reject it, and if they push it through by force, mandamano. Sawa sawa.
We have instructed all our members of parliament to stand firm in parliament and do not be intimidated. Kenya will not accept any kind of political discrimination that will classify some other Kenyans as second-class citizens. Kenyans will defend their rights. We have told them so many times that the Kenyan horse is tired. Punda ya Kenya mechoka.
The issues we have put on the table are non-negotiable. And the matter of the bipartisan talks, in our view, are now overtaken by events. We gave them a chance to talk to us on the table, but they have not demonstrated sincerity and good faith. And therefore, we are past that stage, unless they come back and convince us that they have had a change of mind.
Now to other matters, where the spouse of Deputy President Pastor Dorcas Rigathi has held the inaugural family and marital counseling session yesterday for uniformed and disciplined officers who have already registered for a mass wedding. The session was held at the Kenya School of Government in Kabete. Speaking during the session, Pastor Dorcas said the plan is in an advanced stage, waiting for the confirmation of a date. She said the solemnization of the marriages of the disciplined servicemen and women will protect women and children from the agonies they go through when claiming the benefits of their kin who die in the line of duty.
He loved me. Then he was moved from Nairobi to Navaholo. And he still would drive. That time he had a pickup. He would drive from there and arrive at around 2 a.m. And he will leave in the morning again, just to come and see us. And that is a sacrifice a husband and a wife ought to give to one another. When my husband had not given me the certificate, I did not believe I was his wife. The reason why that certificate may be very important is to secure your family, to secure your wife, and to secure your children. I will tell you for free because I'm a woman. Sometimes that certificate means so much to a woman that you will never know what is in her mind. Actually, it settles a woman to have that certificate. So why not just give them so that you remove the nagging?
We are also in very much support for your program to solemnize the marriages of police officers. As you have already know that we bear the brunt when calamities strike police officers. And calamities here, I mean, maybe death, when an officer dies, and when you are getting when you are following your benefits, you find that Your Excellency, you are more than 3 wives, and you as a bona fide wife, you don't have any certificates to prove that you are the wife.
And of course, I would nag him until he gave me the certificate. So if you want peace with your loved one, you had better give them that certificate.
Right now, the Parliamentary Committee on Finance has reached a consensus on all controversial clauses in the Finance Bill of 2023. The Molo Member of Parliament, Kuria Kimani-led committee agreed to amend some of the controversial clauses after a 5 days retreat in Naivasha. Though they did not divulge which clauses had been amended, the committee said that all views and petitions from members of the public had been addressed.
I'm happy to report that we are in agreement as a Committee of Finance and National Planning on the matters that we have deliberated upon on end, and we really appreciate all the feedback that we've got from the public, from the stakeholders. It has been quite a very, very, very engaging conversation. You know, our colleagues from opposition and even some from our coalition should know that they can actually write to the Speaker and make amendments. And this is amendments have been brought by members of Parliament at the floor of the House, and some of them have seen the rate of death.
Sisi kama watu wa Kericho tunawaambia mtu asijaribu kupinga bill ya finance, sababu tunataka wale wako chini wainuliwe waende wapi? Juu. Sisi tunataka tuwaambie tafadhali, ikiwa uko na pendekezo ambayo unaona it can make the bill better, you take it to Parliament.
Right, and now onto a developing story. President William Ruto has said that he is committed to eliminating the barriers imposed by visa requirements for Djiboutian residents traveling to Kenya. This, the head of state says, will promote people-to-people interactions, trade and investment. The president also vowed to ensure improved labor coordination and labor migration by accelerating finalization of a comprehensive labor agreement between the two countries. President Ruto is in Djibouti for a state visit hosted by Djibouti President Ismail Omar Gwele. He will later participate in the 14th IGAD Ordinary Summit of Heads of State and Government on the 12th of June 2023. That is today.
Africa has been arbitrarily and prejudicially profiled as risky for investment on entirely spurious grounds. As a result, the volumes and financing available for African development are traditionally minute, and the cost of these finances is notoriously extortionate. It is difficult to avoid concluding that in terms of development financing architecture, the global system is rigged against African progress. It is our role, members, honorable members, it is our role to persistently bring to the attention of the world the importance of abandoning a fundamentally unjust global financial system and the prejudicial biases and attitudes that underpin it, not solely for Africa's sake, but to avert the collective peril of humanity. As African leaders, we have to canvass this agenda at every available opportunity in every forum. It is clear now that the climate crisis will be brought under control once the global financial and governance frameworks facilitate Africa to emerge as the champion of a green industrial revolution. To get there, we have to deepen African unity, sustain and intensify our collaboration, and speak in one firm, clear voice. This is how we will deploy our natural resource base to unlock the promise of carbon trading mechanisms under Article 6 and to prevent the plunder of our continent's resources by others.
Right now, the Senate committee investigating the Shakahola killings that left more than 200 people dead says it will lay bare its findings to the public immediately it completes the probe. William Cheptumo, a member of the ad hoc committee probing the Shakahola tragedy, says Kenyans have the right to know what transpired at Shakahola. While in Kabatonjo, Cheptumo called on Kenyans to be cautious with churches that preach outside the biblical doctrines. Last month, Interior Cabinet Secretary Kithure Kindiki told the Senate that Mackenzie had hired gangs who would kill anyone attempting to escape from Shakahola grounds in a belief that their maker will return by end of June this month.
How is it that now we had security agencies around Kilifi and they were not able to detect this? So that is what Senate now is really doing. We have already engaged in Kwale, in Kilifi County, a number of stakeholders We had a session with the security apparatus in that county. So we are not going to, sideline the church in this. The committee is very clear. Our mandate is very clear. We want to engage the church so that then we see how best we can be able to don't have a situation like this in the future. It is very important.
Right, now let's head over to Busia, where Busia Governor Gladys Wanga has highlighted the significance of community health volunteers in steering forward access to medical services in the county. The governor noted that she has met with all the 2,954 community human volunteers in the sub-counties, and one of the primary agendas that they discussed was a means to ending sexual offences in the county that would normally result in teenage pregnancy. She acknowledged that the CHVs have a strong role in providing skill-driven services that enable them to help in reducing maternal and infant mortality. Furthermore, Wanga noted that community health volunteers are prepared as they have been registered with the National Health Insurance Fund.
So let me start with the role of CHVs. And I want to say that we have spent last week and this week, we have been meeting our CHVs in all our sub-counties, 2,954 of them. What we have been doing is talking with our CHVs about the roles that they ought to play around skilled deliveries, ANC, attendance in reducing maternal mortality, infant mortality, and ensuring that our indicators are right. CHVs play a very, very important role in primary healthcare. If you want to change our indicators, we must work with them. I'm happy that they are motivated because we have been able to now give them a small stipend, register them on NHIF so that we can advance the issues of our indicators. Coming back to the issue of teenage pregnancies, it's a big issue here in Homa Bay. And one of the issues we have been seriously discussing with our CHVs is the issue of teenage pregnancies and reducing it. So it's a war we have started. We are working with other partners to develop a program that will help us, all of us, to deal with this issue. And maybe we will discuss again 1 year from now as we look at what the indicators look like after the battle that we want to put. And this is a battle not just for the county, it's a battle for national leaders, but it's also a battle with the national administration. Because people who impregnate and rape young girls must.
Now, the Interior and National Administration Cabinet Secretary Professor Kithure Kindiki has directed that all schools in West Pokot County that were previously closed due to banditry be reopened. Professor Kindiki, after visiting a Turkwel GSU camp, reassured residents of the government's commitment to restore normalcy in the troubled areas, saying that security measures had been put in place to ensure the protection of learners. He said the state has set aside 100 million Kenyan shillings aside to be used in reconstruction of the institutions and the purchase of new facilities.
Vilevile ningetaka kusema ya kwamba kwa sababu ya ukosefu wa usalama kuna shule mbalimbali ambazo zilifungwa kwa sababu ya magaidi, wezi na wakora. Wengine wakavunja miundo misingi ya shule, wengine wakaingia pale magaidi, wakavunja milango na mabati yakachukuliwa, watoto wakatoroka shuleni, wazazi wao wakatoroka kwa sababu ya ukosefu wa usalama. Na mimi nataka nitangaza hivi kwa niaba ya serikali ya Kenya. Hatuwezi kuruhusu sehemu yoyote ile katika nchi yetu wakora waumize wananchi, wachukue nafasi ambazo zingetumiwa kuelimisha watoto wetu, kwa sababu hii nchi iko na sheria, iko na katiba, na hatuwezi kukubali kupatiana sehemu yoyote ile ya nchi ya Kenya kwa wakora, majambazi na wezi. Na tumetangaza katika kaunti zingine kulingana na amri ya Mheshimiwa Rais ya kwamba shule zote ambazo zilifungwa katika nchi yetu ya Kenya kwa sababu ya majangili na wezi na wakora, Mheshimiwa Rais ameagiza shule hizo zote lazima zifunguliwe. Kwa hivyo nataka kuhakikishia viongozi na wakazi wa hapa ya kwamba kama vile tumefanya katika shule zingine, tutahakikisha kwamba.
Right, and now to health matters. The health department in Migori County has organized a meeting with gender stakeholders and girls with the aim of evaluating the steps that have been taken to end childhood pregnancies in the county in the past 5 years. The statistics of the Ministry of Health have revealed that a big step has been taken to reduce the cases of childhood pregnancies to 19%. The Director of Education in Migori County, Jacob Onyengo, has said that the Ministry of Education has planned the distribution of tampons and to ensure the girls who have given birth have the opportunity to return to school. Suna East County Deputy Commissioner Benson Korani has asked the community not to protect the perpetrators who impregnate children, but to prosecute them so that they can be punished by law.
Pregnancies, we are at 19%, which is still higher from the national level. The national level is at 16%, but we are still trying. As at now, our action plan has come to an end. It's coming to an end of this month, and today we are planning with the other sectors on how we are going to collect data to see our achievements for the last 5 years.
We have a policy guideline developed by the Ministry of Education that is specific to youths and especially our girls who may have gotten pregnant, and they are given an opportunity to go back to school through the re-entry policy. And this has worked very well to rehabilitate and bring back many girls who otherwise will not have had an opportunity of going back to school to continue their studies.
We are working towards the sensitization of the youth, towards addressing the same cases. The main thing that we focus is on empowerment of the youths, so that once they have gone through school, they are able to find self-employment if they are not going to be, in mainstream.
Right, a natural, rather saddening story. 2 children aged 14 and 4 were on Saturday burnt beyond recognition after their house caught fire following a gas cylinder explosion at Parsiele in Kipkelion West, Kericho County. Parsiele Sub-Location Assistant Chief Bismarck Milgu confirmed the incident, saying the cylinder exploded when the children's mother was preparing lunch. Mr. Milgu said the mother also sustained serious burnt injuries while attempting to rescue her children and was rushed to the Kericho Referral Hospital for treatment. He said the fire engulfed the timber house before spreading to 9 adjacent shops, which are also constructed from timber, and burnt them down. The administrator also revealed that members of the public attempted to put out the inferno but were overwhelmed as it spread too fast.
Wakati huu nimestaafu, niko nyumbani, na hii imeniletea hasara isiyo na kifani.
Mama mwenye alikuwa na operate pump ya mafuta ambaye alikuwa anataka kupikia watoto chakula. Kwa wakati huo moto iliweza kulipuka na ikaweza kuwafungia ndani ya nyumba. Wananchi walijaribu kuzima moto, but kwa sababu moto ilikuwa mingi haingewezekana. Ilibidi tupigie simu wazima moto kutoka Kericho, but walikuja kama wamechelewa.
Right now, more than 50 youth and women have landed a chance to hone their drawing and painting skills in a unique project to paint and beautify Maili 46 town in Kajiado West sub-county. The project, dubbed the Art Town, has seen international painters and artists collaborate with the locals to transform the sleepy town. First phase of the project, which was initiated 1.5 months ago, saw 10 local youth recruited to undergo rigorous drawing and painting training from experts. The idea was mooted by a Norwegian who visited the town during the recent drought witnessing mass livestock death. He decided to bring them hope through art.
Kama mstuni, lakini saizi imekaa town. Imetubadilishia manyumba, zimejulikana. Kama ni duka ya chakula imeandikwa shop, kama ni ya ushanga kama hii yangu imeandikwa ushanga shop. So sisi naona imetusaidia.
Had youth volunteering to beautify this town, not on money, but because of the love of transforming their village.
Wa eneo hii wako na talenta ya kuchora, ni vile hatukuwa na hii mradi ya hii mchoro, ikakuja na vijana wamefurahia na tukafanya pamoja na vijana pia wamepata hiyo talenta kupitia hiyo mradi.
Wengi watakuwa busy kufanya hiyo kazi ya kuchora. Hata wengi mashuleni wameanza, hata shuleni sasa ukienda unakuta ya kwamba watoto wameanza kuchora, wanafurahia kabisa. Na wengi wakikuja kushika hii mambo ya kuchora, wanaweza employ,
You want to attract youth and women in art. You know, the coloring, the beautification has been done by talented artists and painters. This is to encourage people from this community, the youth and women, that with their talent can take them far.
And now drama unfolded at the Majengo informal settlement in Nanyuki town as an elderly woman engaged security officers during an illicit alcohol crackdown operation. The officers had raided her home following intelligence reports that she was among those behind illicit brews in the area. The Nigerian, identified as Marikuni Tanaba, was found hiding 6 liters of changa beneath her clothes, with officers giving a hard time arresting her. During the operation, the elderly woman threatened to curse security officials who dared touch her. During the sting operation by the multi-agency security team, they further unearthed several bottles of illicit alcohol and crude weapons, which were suspected to be used for conducting criminal activities within Nanyuki town and its environs. Over 40 kitchen knives, a crowbar, 5 axes and 6 pangas were recovered during the raid.
Nasema ya kwamba kwa wakati huu tumekuja operation on illicit brew pande ya Majengo. Tumeweza kupata mama ambaye ako na 89 years, manake alizaliwa 1924, na tumempata akiwa akinauza chang'aa mahali wazi, na nafikiria kulingana na area chief ametueleza kwamba huyu mama amekuwa msumbufu sana, kwa sababu huwa anaficha pombe chini ya miguu, na akiona officers wetu anajilalisha na anasema hawezi amuka. Na wakati tumekuja na red officers, wanawake ambao mimi tuwaambia akamushwa, na tukaona alikuwa na pombe zaidi ya lita 9, na alikuwa na visu zaidi ya 40 zilikuwa zimefichwa kwa sanduku. Pia alikuwa na crowbar ambazo mimi zinatumika kwa kufunja manyumba. Alikuwa pia na shoka kama 5 na mapanga zaidi ya 6, manake about 6 of them. Kwa hivyo tunaamini ya kwamba maybe huyu mama anatumika kwa njia ya ukora sana. Tulipoingia kwa nyumba tumepata hata kuna pombe zingine alikuwa ameficha hapo. Tumepata tena kuna majani, vitu zingine zinakaa kama zipile zilikuwa zimefichwa ni kama za wizi ambao wanaletewa wakati watu wamefanya ndio wa exchange na pombe. Kwa hivyo tumeweza kumshika na anapelekwa police station ya Nanyuki aweze kustakiwa. Asante.
Kwa tunaamini ya kwamba hizo bidhaa zote ni ya wizi. Alafu tena tumerekava bidhaa ya chakula kama majani kwa wingi. Pia iko kijiko karibu 60 kijiko ya kukulia, ambayo tunaamini ya kwamba iko vijana ambaye anafanya wizi, anakuja kuweka vitu kwa hiyo mama, maybe kwa biashara ama vitu zingine kama hizo. Na kwa hayo pombe haramu ainanga miaka ya kusema huyu mama amekuwa mzee, huyu ni kijana. Kama umepatikana na hatia ya pombe haramu, haijalishi miaka ni wewe kuna miaka ngapi, pia tunakukamata na kustaki. Pia tunakustaki kwa ile vitu ambayo tupata kama kisu ambayo tunaamini ni ya wizi. Hata hiyo iko jumba ambayo ya kufunya naye nyumba tu pia tumerekava.
Right now, former Mumia's sugar factory employees are going through many challenges, including lack of funds for their medical attention and school fees due to their children who were being forced to abandon education to take care of their ailing parents. However, these workers still believe that one day they will receive the accumulated dues, at least to bring a smile, afford medical treatment, send their children back to school, and repurchase the farms they claim to have sold while paying their children's school fees. Hopeful that their salaries are on the way as time continues to pass. Many of them continue to suffer with their hopes still intact. A visit to the families is demoralizing as they are living in pathetic conditions. The hope is that one day their plea to be paid, their debts will be heard, as they say their patience has brought many of them to their breaking point, losing their lives.
Hata sisi hatuko tayari kufanya kazi. Sisi tunataka pesa zetu. Tusaidie watoto wetu. Tuondokee watoto wetu wadogo wakuja wafanye kazi hapa.
Ndio tungeenda nyumbani, lakini ukienda nyumbani unaenda na nini?
Tumwelekeze, tumwambie tunataka hivi, atupatie pesa zetu kwanza kukaa hapa. Na ile gharama yenye maisha yenye tumepitia, tunataka pesa za kwanza kutoa kwa hizi manyumba, ku lay off system. Atupatie pesa zetu za miezi 3 plus ama na zaidi na compensation. Sababu sisi tu hii muda tumekaa. Pesa zenye wanaenda kutupatia hazina value kwa sasa. Ingelikuwa bora ni siende sikilie hiyo balance ya huyo mtoto ndio niendeleze masomo yake ya kwenda Maseno University.
Mimi ndio nilikuwa tegemeo. Mama yangu saa hii yako chini amerakama, ana matibabu, ana chochote, analilianga tu hapo. Kukula ni ngumu. Viongozi wetu, pole kusema hivyo. They are cunning. They are not the people you can rely on.
Right, what a sad state of affairs for those former employees of Mumias. But that is a wrap for us from here right now. Thank you very much for making time to join us, but don't go far. We'll sure keep you updated, including the developing story on DJ Brownskin, who has been charged on as aiding the suicide of his deceased wife. We will keep you updated on that in our next bulletin with Emmanuel Marwa at exactly 4 p.m. So be keen to join him at that particular time. Thank you very much for making time. My name is Victor Enzobeli. Have a lovely afternoon.